Buying a new car right now is very expensive. There's a huge shortage of new vehicles thanks to the microchip supply issue going on. However, that's also forcing used car prices to hit all new highs. Today, we're going to talk about the best used cars to buy right now and also the worst used cars to buy. We're over at IC Cars, the used cars with the largest and smallest price increases amid the microchip shortage. This is quite ridiculous. Used car prices in August increased an average of 26%, or about $6,500 over the past 12 months, but it's actually down from 31% increase in July. So it seems to be that the used car market is slowly regulating, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. The vehicles with the highest price increases are a mix of economy cars and impractical cars, and cars with the smallest price bumps are mainly luxury SUVs. So here are the 10 used cars with the greatest price increases. This is quite stunning. Mitsubishi Mirage coming in at number 1. It's one of the cheapest new cars you can buy, but even if you buy a Mirage new, I hear that they're charging over $4,000 on top of MSRP. But look what's happening to the used Mirage prices, over $4,400 increase. So this is roughly a 50% price increase from August of 2020. Guys, don't buy a Mitsubishi Mirage right now. It's a great car. It's a really affordable car, but buy an older car. And what's difficult here is this doesn't tell us the model year or the range of model years of these vehicles. So that's really tricky. Nissan Leaf. Apparently people are really wanting electric, or at least used affordable electric cars, because we know new electric cars are not very cheap. And the Nissan Leaf is coming at $6,000 over what it was going for last year around this time. Chevy Spark, didn't know that that was still a sought after vehicle. Well, apparently people are happy to pay about $4,500 more than they were last year for a Chevy Spark. Blows my mind. G-Class. Now, people who want a G-Wagon, they have ridiculous amounts of money. So they're happy to pay $45,000, almost $46,000 more than what they were paying last year for a G-Wagon. And this is used, mind you. So new ones are just they're not able to get their hands on new ones. So like, okay, well, G-Wagons don't change much. I'll drop an extra 45, 50K on a used G-Wagon because I can't get a new one. What the heck? It's just insane. The used car industry, well, the whole car industry right now. Mini hardtop two-door, $6,000 over what it was last year. Lincoln Navigator and the Lincoln Navigator L are both going for over $16,000 more than what they were last year. Where are people getting all this money? I mean, what the heck? Kia Forte, another cheap car, very similar to the Mirage, over $4,000 what it was selling for last year. Camaro, that's definitely not a car I would be wanting to buy right now, or pretty much ever, but people are paying $8,000 over what they were last year for a Camaro. And Kia Soul, about that $4,000 over last year. People are putting down $17K for a used Kia Soul. When you're including all the used cars, not just the top 10, but all the used cars, average transaction price for a used car right now is about $31K. People are paying about $6,500 more this year than they were last year for them, which is about a 26% increase in price. But there's some light at the end of the tunnel. If you guys want to buy a used car and don't want totally to get the shaft on it, here are top 10 used cars prices with the smallest price changes. Unfortunately, none of them are cheap cars. Okay, none of these are cheap cars. So GLC has the lowest price change from a year ago. It's still 8% up, but it is just $2,800 over what it was selling for last year. So most of these are all going to be luxury vehicles. In fact, outside of the Nissan Maxima down here at the bottom, which the Maxima, man, I would not be wanting to spend $25K on a Maxima CVT. Not what I want. But I guess the prices aren't skyrocketing over Maximas right now. So yeah, that's why the prices haven't gone up that much. But the rest of these best buy vehicles are luxury vehicles. And a lot of people, let's say if things are a little tight right now, they don't want to drop, 30 to 45, 50K on a used vehicle. The Porsche Macan is the most expensive vehicle on this list, but it's in the top 10 of least adjusted prices from last year. Lexus IS 300 is on here, so there hasn't been a huge price change there. Still 10% premium you're paying on it. Volvo XC90 about a 10% premium. So just taking a quick glance at this list here is that luxury SUVs are not getting marked up as much as a lot of other used vehicles in the market right now. So the biggest markups seem to be happening on used vehicles. A lot of them are expensive trucks like the Navigator and the G-Wagon, but also a lot of them are very, very inexpensive vehicles like the Forte, like the Soul, like the Mirage, like kind of the Leaf, but especially the Spark. People really need cheap cars right now. Unfortunately, they're getting just ripped off with 50% increase in prices compared to last year. That's ridiculous. But we have more news to talk about today. And over at Automotive News, Toyota's Woven Planet steps up acquisition drive with programmable car deal. So they have bought Renovo, and this should help them improve the software in the vehicles. And that's what Toyota wants to do. All of their acquisition has been, recently has been to improve their autonomous driving, as well as their ability to update vehicles with software and create a software first environment, build the software for the vehicle first, and then build the hardware, the shell, and the physical components around the software. Toyota's definitely taking a different approach here, and it starts with James Kuffner. He is Woven Planet's CEO. He's from essentially Silicon Valley, and he wants software first and artificial intelligence to run the show, and then physical cars be built on top of that. What good is a Terminator if it doesn't have good software running it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have good brains and brawn. And Toyota has had the brawn with reliable vehicles, but they haven't had that cutting edge technology on the software side. That's all changing as they're buying these technology companies like Renovo. They bought out Lyft's Level 5 autonomous driving earlier this year. They've also bought Neuro Inc., which is a robotics company. And here's another one. In July, they bought Carmera, an American high-definition digital mapping company, which will help with autonomous driving and things like that. So they are spending hundreds of millions of dollars acquiring these companies to make their software better. And so they're saying the first vehicle to embody this RNA, I think that's how you say RNA technology, which is a software approach technology. The first vehicle will be in 2025 to kind of be this new super leading edge software first vehicle. So definitely stay tuned for that. And lastly, Hyundai recalls 130,000 Tucson and Sonatas in the United States and Canada for fire risk. This continues to burn through their profits as they have to issue recalls for these. Not only that, if they don't issue timely recall, which happened earlier in the year, they get hit with a really huge penalty by the NHTSA. Yes, down here, last November, Hyundai and Kia both agreed to pay a record $210 million civil penalty after the NHTSA said they failed to recall 1.6 million vehicles for engine issues in a timely fashion, and they've had many more vehicle recalls since then. So I mean, it's probably, what are they up to, 2 million vehicles due to the fires? I think that's the main recall here, is that the engines are catching fire due to all sorts of issues going on with them. So yeah, that's a big reason why Hyundai wants to go to hydrogen. They want to go to battery electric vehicles as soon as possible, because they're not going to have essentially these issues. But I mean, look at the recall that happened to the Kona. The battery issues with the Kona as well as the Bolt, both of them were using LG Chem. So just because you shift away from gasoline and internal combustion engines and avoiding the issues there doesn't mean that there aren't a whole host of new things that can go wrong for recalls with battery electric vehicles. There are less things that can go wrong, but you mess up battery chemistry and that thing just blows up. Cheap cars are no longer cheap. Expensive cars are not getting marked up as much as the cheap cars. So yeah, you're screwed no matter what you do, really. Whether you buy a new or used car, try not to buy any cars right now. I know that's tough. That's really hard to hear as we talk about cars all the time on this channel. But yeah, try not to buy a new car right now. It's probably going to be till late 2022 until the prices start regulating. That's my guess. But who knows? Who knows? This is a complete S show, if you guys know what I mean. But it's fun to talk about. But I'm going to end it there. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button, subscribe for more Japanese and Korean auto news. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.